Do you ever run out of room?
For what?
That's what I'm afraid of. If like you have so much stuff that you just run out of space, and
I
then
mean-
And the self-checkout.
yeah, and then you just have
Do
to.
that.
I don't know what you would
Just
do.
you
I
put
don't
it
wanna
in the
think about
shop.
it.
Put the bags in the shopping cart.
Yeah, but then the little flag warns you. Hey, put it back, and then you get scared.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I get scared. At least.
Dan, you get scared playing Minecraft.
No joke. Minecraft on hard is probably the scariest game that should be rated M in the world.
Okay.
And with that, we hit the hour mark.
This has been one hell of a podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. Stay tuned for the post show, which may or may not be released. Probably not. But yeah, I'm gonna stop recording.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Adios.
So have we figured out a name for the podcast yet?
I
Yeah.
thought we already was settled on it.
By the way, I don't know if anyone else is feeling this way. Motion did not release that.
That episode?
Yeah. That would be...
Yeah, that was kind of a dark episode.
That was... Yeah, just something about it was just the mojo wasn't there this week.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, we talked about some depressing stuff. There's a lot of awkward lulls in the
Yeah.
conversation. I would feel a little bit weird if we released that.
We do have an extra episode that we recorded last week.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Why are we?
Oh, you guys and Alex recorded?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
There we go. The bonus Alex episode, where we say goodbye to him like 5 times.
Yeah.
So what? You recorded like a second hour?
Brian and I went to midnight, I think.
Oh.
Yeah,
Was
we added on a good extra amount of time. It was like a sub series within the podcast, just talking about late night ideas.
Yeah.
If there's
sorry.
one thing I missed about. Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
I was gonna say sorry for like helping to drag this whole thing down and stuff.
And I would not say that's your fault. You put that balloon away, Jesus Christ.
Anyway,
Yeah.
That's gonna wrap it up from these guys. Thank you to our sponsor, Air something.
the
Oxygen.
oxygen.
I originally was gonna call it Lumber Liquidators, and I was like, that's
There you go. Oxygen.
oh, that's
Oxygen.
oh, dang. See, I kind of actually want to go into business with a name like that.
I got another 4-day weekend this week.
Lucky.
You lose Monday and Tuesday. It's like a daylight savings time thing.
No, I got like this week, like as in like I had off yesterday and today.
Oh, wow.
Is it like the 5th of July or something?
No, it's because I just took a holiday on my birthday, and then I had worked so that I
okay.
would have had today off
Yeah.
anyway. So
You know what I feel like sometimes? Like, you, not being you specifically, but like the you as in the generic pronoun one in French.
yeah, okay.
Everyone has like an extra holiday, and it's like birthday, and it's like kind of only recognized like by them. But my goal in life is to get October 25th, my birthday. Maybe not a national holiday, but a nationally recognized day.
My birthday already is a nationally recognized day.
Wait, hold on, let me think. January 15th or something?
Yeah.
The Ides of January?
Nope.
Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to say, but I didn't want to say it during the podcast. You remember on the very first podcast where the ally thing came up, where he
Yeah.
guy. It wasn't just anybody; it was Captain Zach, which doesn't make it okay, but it just makes it like the story even weirder. It was a fellow-
That he like,
It was a fellow top player.
huh?
I wonder how he became a top player.
Or is he a bottom player? Ooh.
Oh, that's gay.
Here's a question, and Thomas, I think, has the most experience out of any of us to answer this one.
Wait.
But if you,
hold-
not to say
hold
you're
on.
racist,
Wait, what?
Would you want to be in the top position or the bottom position?
Repeat the repeat the question.
Are you a top or a bottom? That's
Yeah.
the question.
In your domestic gay partnership, hypothetically?
With Matt.
Your top, you have the most experience out of all of us, so I think that was more of a side-to-side situation, though, if I recall correctly.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you can have a you can have a top bottom relationship in like a perfectly normal heterosexual relationship.
But then sex roles come into it, and then that's it kind of, even though it doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it can skew the conversation. If it's two males or two females, then it's equal grounds, and it's purely a matter of dominance or submission.
I don't think.
And after that
makes
last
sense,
sentence,
Dan.
I don't want to hear the answer anymore.
Dan, I don't think
myself
your
out of it.
rationale makes sense, but
Yeah,
it's
I
okay.
definitely talked myself out of it. I don't want to answer that. Can we change the subject?
You
This
brought this.
podcast.
You brought this up.
Thank you all for listening.
You-
Just 5 more conclusions, and then that's it.
How many? I shouldn't, but I can't help but feel like Nick not being able to make the podcast is going to be a thing.
Well, someone's always busy. I won't be here next week. My mom is coming to visit.
Okay.
That'll be fun.
Both times I've been at the podcast, I've double booked the podcast with hanging out with Kirsten.
Yeah, bring Kirsten on.
Well, the only reason it worked out this time is because, like, she had to work tomorrow morning.
On a Saturday?
Yeah, I have to work tomorrow morning, but she has to work at like 5 in the morning.
Ouch.
You get paid overtime?
I don't think she's working overtime, so no.
Man, a Saturday.
She works at a pool as a lifeguard.
Still. It's like the perfect 9 to
5
5.
a.m.?
Well,
Really?
it's good. I think it starts at like 5:45, but which I guess is closer to 6. But
Who's swimming at 5:45 in the morning?
a lot of like swim teams will rent the pool in the early morning.
And swim teams need a
Plus
lifeguard?
Plus they still have to get like prepared for the day, and like she's like the only person there who knows how to work chemicals for some reason.
Like chlorine?
Like acid, but yes, also chlorine.
Yeah.
I really want someone I know to get caught up on the Attack on Titan manga because the memes that are coming out about it right now are just so fucking good. I have no one to share them with.
Really?
Yeah,
Is it season 3?
it's this would be season 4 because they announced that they're going to finish it.
Jeez,
Oh,
Oh, that's awesome. I need to watch season 3.
Yeah, but
I
this is
haven't
like
watched
this is stuff that happens like later, and oh my god, just like this last chapter just spawns so many goddamn memes. And
I like how we're now talking about like podcast-worthy things, and like
and we ended it.
during the podcast we spent like half the podcast on people dying.
Your fire alarm's going off.
Yeah, well, that is a bird.
Ah.
Your bird can tell if there's a fire in the house?
I
Impressive.
mean, yeah, presumably.
There is a fire, confirmed. And Thomas is...
I heard that Lion King was not very good.
Really?
That's
I mean, I heard it's basically just like a shot-for-shot remake of the one of like the cartoon from like the '90s. But then it's like, but like the fact that like they don't have any
expression.
right, it just makes like so much less like it has so much less impact when like they don't have any like actual expressions.
That's interesting. I never even thought of that.
That's true. Do they still have all the songs and everything?
Yeah, but like because it doesn't have the expressions, it's just like a pig
It
and a
just-
lion walking around.
Huh.
Did
Okay.
they add any songs? Is the real question.
I don't know. I didn't.
No, I don't believe they did. They
Okay, so
shortened.
so
They
they
shortened
didn't
some
pull
of the
an
songs that
Aladdin.
were in it, though.
Here's a question: did they remove the scene where the kid in the green shirt is like, every year I always get the same role. I'm always a shepherd.
Um.
Uh,
Oh, I get that. I get. I was. Took me a second, Dan.
That's a reference to the last Christmas party we had.
I still don't get it, but
No,
It's
this is
Charlie
not
Brown's in the Charlie Brown Christmas video, or like that little
Yeah, yeah.
special.
Yeah.
There's a when they're handing out the gifts. There's a part where one of the kids goes, "Every year it's always the same. I always play a shepherd," and they cut it out of the movie. They cut it out of the show in the
televised
area.
version.
Yeah, for commercials.
huh.
And it was me doing a 15-minute expository of the joke that was about to not show up on the screen, and then it showed up on the screen, and it was just oh, you had to be there. Was Brian? Were you there? You were there, Brian.
when was
I pro-
this?
I pro-
Why wasn't
probably-
I
It was
there?
the joke. It was the one. It was right before. It was Christmas one. So the next one we had was New Year's, where it was Thomas, Brian, DeAngelis, and Kirsten. But the one right before that was Christmas party, where it was like everyone plus Jason Marcus plus Hassan plus John Cooper and plus Josh
Oh
Briscoe.
yeah.
And the pizzas never came and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Remember?
I
They
think
were-
Well,
I
I
Something.
don't remember because I
You
wasn't
still
there.
haven't ordered pizzas. It was both a South Park reference and then a reference to the actual situation.
the long pause.
Yes. Wow, and I've been super out of it recently, so I apologize for being a little bit quieter than usual today.
I'm just tired from work. This has been the longest week ever.
Yeah, you know what, Tyler? Don't even bother coming back next week.
I won't.
That's the joke.
There are so many situations where I want to be like, "That's the joke," and I'm like, "Oh, no one's gonna get this."
Why do I get that? What is that reference to?
That's this story Nick and I having.
That's
Nick
Jordan
and I,
Reed,
No,
right? No?
It was
No.
like literally
Psych.
some kid.
That's the wrong class. Okay, no, that's the Jordan joke.
Yeah, that's the wrong class.
Dude, it's so funny. I freaking work not with Jordan, but like we work at the same company. So it's like one day he just IM'd me out of the blue. We talked at lunch. I do
Oh,
not.
you guys are both working for Lockheed.
Yeah, he says how, he's killing it and everyone's a moron around him.
Of course. Jordan thinks that. I'm shocked.
I'm being sarcastic. He is in a field of intelligent individuals just like himself. You know what's funny? Jordan was the head of his class.
Yeah,
Of
I know.
7
Yep.
people in his class.
Wow, that's crazy.
But do you know what he's like doing though?
That's classified, Tyler.
Of
If I talk
course.
anymore, a guy who's worked in the Navy for 18 years is going to spring out of the bushes and yell at me.
I mean, you joke, but
Do you not know the story?
no, I do know. I know that story.
Oh,
Story
wait,
was
then
this.
Then you're saying someone actually jumped out of the bushes?
No, I'm saying. No, I'm just saying like
I know.
that's like when you say it's classified, like I don't know, like I don't know if you're joking or not because it's
I will never use that seriously. I promise.
okay.
I don't care if it's a whatever to national security. I will use it as a joke because as long as it gets one laugh, it's worth it.
So,
Fair.
if it's actually like something you can't talk about, what will you say then?
That's classified, but it doesn't matter if the thing itself is classified or not. The joke is it's classified.
So we'll never know whether or not it's a joke or actually classified, but even if it is actually classified, it's still sort of a joke. But that also kind of is the point, is that we don't know which one's which.
You're right.
I'm thinking too far into this.
You got it. Your perfect level of insight right there.
I'm thinking way too far into this.
You got to go you have the level 4, but you got to go to level 5 to really understand it. That's where you understand the thing that whether or not the information is a joke or actually classified, but it doesn't really matter because that is the joke itself, whether or not the information is classified. But you don't know whether or not the information is classified or not because I'll never tell you because I'll just say it's a joke and it's classified. You got to go one level deeper than that, Thomas, and say, was the fact that it's a joke also classified?
That's classified.
Obviously not, or if it was, you wouldn't have said that it was a joke. You would have said it was just. You would have just said it was classified.
I could have been breaking protocol with that. I could be conspiring against the United States, which I've discovered. If I wanted to be a spy and work against the U.S. government,
this is probably not something you should say.
No, I can talk about this because I would be a terrible spy because I have no idea what to do with the information. I'm struggling to figure out what to do with the information as my own job, let alone if I was an espionage agent. So the United States is very safe with having me in their hand.
This is not something I would want to put on a call if I was working for the government.
Yeah, if the government finds this podcast, then yeah, they did it. They prevented the potential national security.
Listening to everything. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced they don't listen to phone calls and things.
I mean, they can't listen to. Think about how many phone calls there are in the U.S. It's physically impossible for them to be listening to everyone. So they just identify people that they probably record everything. And if you start doing something that's sussy, they're going to go back and look through your calls.
Yeah.
What I've heard was they can only have who you called and the length. They can't have the actual call unless they have a warrant.
They just put a warrant on everyone in the country.
Yeah, that's probably.
Everyone who has ever driven a car has driven over the speed limit at some point. Therefore, everyone has broken the law, and you can legally issue a warrant for their arrest.
I mean, you're not wrong. If the speed limit is 5 miles an hour, there's a chance that by accident you've gone 6.
People in Utah are crazy drivers.
Is that a good thing?
They will run you off the fucking road.
Oh, I just realized something I could have talked about on the podcast.
Running people off the effing road?
Well, here's the post-show.
Tyler said that, talked about crazy drivers, and I could have talked about how confusing it is to drive in Providence, Rhode Island, because I was there last week. And I could also have talked about the fact that I got, somebody white knighted at me in a gas station. I got screamed at.
I need to ask what white knighting is.
Yeah.
I got SJW'd.
Oh, okay.
Really? So South Jersey watermelon in the middle of a gas station.
I thought it was Southern Jersey weatherman.
I always said watermelon.
Basically, at this particular gas station, apparently you can't, there are multiple entrances, but they have one entrance and one exit, and I apparently went through the exit and accidentally cut someone off, in line, cut them off and cut in line. So when I pulled in, because I was apparently going through the exit, this guy filling his gas tank just was staring at me the entire time and watched me drive by him and drive around and pull in, and he just kept staring at me, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna pull forward a little bit so the pump is in the way so I can't actually see him staring at me.
Did he go up to you?
What? Yes.
Oh,
so I waited a couple seconds, and all of a sudden I see him walk by between the gas pumps, and he's coming over to me, and I'm like, oh my god, what is going on?
Can I finish the story for you?
Are you asking to finish the story?
Yes, can I please finish the story?
Go ahead. I'm gonna tell the actual version.
Okay,
so.
Thank you. Just give me 2 seconds. And then he walked up to you and he said, "Hey, I use the same detergent as you." Then he walked away. Okay, you can tell the actual story now.
I really be a lot more amusing. Like when you try to figure out like my and Kirsten's inside jokes. I really thought it was gonna be
I was laughing in the water in a what?
what?
Hold on, I think of the stroke. Hold on.
You're laughing in the
I was
water.
literally laughing in the parking lot today because I was thinking of what is that? Gatorade.
What is it?
It's so stupid. It's so good. I hate it. Send me it. Don't do it.
Send you what? Gatorade?
Don't enable me. Don't send me the
Send you like
whatever that was.
inside jokes?
Yeah, don't send me whatever that was. The soundbite.
It was a Snapchat.
Yeah, don't
video.
send it. To me. I'll just drop it. I don't want it.
I don't chat. I wasn't. But anyway, so he walks up to me, yelling at me, or starts yelling something to me, and I'm like, I didn't hear you. You know, he's like, roll down your window, and I'm like, I really shouldn't have. Like looking back, I'm like, I totally shouldn't have rolled down my window. That's like he could have like shot me or something.
I mean, to be fair, your window probably wouldn't have stopped a bullet.
You would have gotten glass all over your face that he shot already.
He could have reached like into the car or something.
That's true. And pulled the gun out of your.
He can't stab me if the window's up. But I rolled down the window, and he was like, "Did you just go in the gas station in the wrong way and then cut in front of that man?" And I'm like, "Did I cut?" And I started to be like, "Did I cut in front of somebody?" Like, cause all I saw was this car that was like several car lengths away that I thought was parked. And he didn't even give me a chance to respond and was like, "You better move out and leave." And I'm like,
Did that guy work there?
"Oh, he was just pumping his own gas. He walked away from his car while he was pumping in the middle of pumping gas to like berate."
Actually, like, what is the purpose of that? Like,
So,
man, you know what I'm gonna do today? Get in someone's business. Like,
well, he was yelling at me. The actual guy I apparently cut off also got out of his car and started walking towards my.
No. Continue. I want to hear.
And so he didn't really say anything because the other guy was already like yelling at me enough and didn't give anyone time to say anything.
So wait, do you think he was going to go to defend you, and then he got scared of the guy yelling, or is he actually going to just berate you further?
I think he was probably going to say that I cut in front of him, but I don't know. Basically, I turned to the actual guy that I apparently cut off, and said like, "Look, this was an accident. I wasn't trying to cut you off. It was like I didn't mean to. I'll move out of the way." And he just kind of like said thank you, and that was it. And the other guy walked away, and I was like,
When was the last time you go to Rhode Island?
I had to take a moment to like process it. I was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
all I can think of is that guy coming up, like the guy that you cut off, coming up to you. It's like, have you ever seen the one meme where it's like these like three like people that are labeled like different things, like anger, sadness, hatred, and they're like bullying someone, and then like another one reaches down and like extends its hand to the person getting bullied, and he takes it, and then like there are some versions where it's like it just like gives them a hug. But there's other versions where it's like where he takes his hand and then he does that thing where he like grabs him around the waist and like throws him backwards.
Suplex.
Yeah, it's suplex. That's what it is. Yeah, let me see if I can find it. I was trying to think of. Yeah, he like suplex. It's like that's how I imagine where it's like the guy is like yelling at you and then the guy walks like, hey, I think we all need to calm down. Now you, mister, cut me off.
But like the guy demanded that I leave when I was like, what? And like, so the guy that kept staring at me and then eventually was yelling at me was white, and the guy cut off was black, and I don't know if he was like thought I was being racist or just thought I was being an asshole, and probably the latter. But it was so like, what? Like I didn't know what to do. Like
yeah.
But I could have talked about that in the
I could
podcast.
have talked about a lot of stuff in the podcast, but we didn't.
And we talked about more depressing things.
Death and Belle Delphine.
Yeah.
Here's a question: Why is reproducing through budding a thing?
What?
What?
I feel like it's not the most efficient way of reproduction. Just saying.
That's
Like, even-
mainly done by fungus, and that's mainly just for asexual reproduction.
And why is fungus its own kingdom? And why is it so confusing? These are the questions that they have not answered yet.
I believe they have.
So actually, the whole kingdom system is actually incorrect nowadays. Now we don't
Thank
even
you.
use
We just
don't
need
use
a food pyramid.
we
But
use the
for
3 domains
things.
of life. The 5 kingdom system does not actually work anymore.
I'm guessing it's bacteria, plants and
Bacteria,
fungus, and
Archaea,
animals.
and Archaea.
Wait, what?
It's bacteria, Archaea, and Eukarya.
That's the same thing. All three of those are this. Unless, what's eukarya?
So Eukarya is basically plants, animals, anything that's multicellular, pretty much.
Uh-huh. You're telling me I'm the same as a tree.
Yes.
I'm gonna go back to the animal kingdom. Like, very much.
No, you're
Sorry.
now.
You are now related to a tree.
How does this affect
On all, I was gonna say on all levels but physical, I am a tree. Photosynthesis.
I identify as an Apache helicopter.
I wonder about that. Literally, I was thinking about that earlier today. Where does that come from? Because I saw it in a College Humor skit where someone said, I identify as an Apache helicopter. And they was like, haha, but I heard that joke before. And I was thinking about it. It had to have come from somewhere. Did it come from that College Humor video?
When
And
I
me
first,
not finding it funny is ironic because that's what it really came
when
from.
I first
I
heard
believe
it,
it's a 4chan.
It's probably a 4chan thing. I don't
And-
remember where it came from originally.
when I first heard about it, there was a YouTube video that Brian, you were watching at the dorm at High Star. We were the only ones at the apartment at the time, and you were watching this and showed it to me, and it was some guy on talking about different sexualities, and they progressively got more ridiculous. It started with gay, trans, and then pansexual, and then eventually he said that he was an Apache helicopter. But if it came before, that's the only place. That was the first time I became aware of it.
I do remember that video now that you mention it. I don't remember what the hell it was called, but I remember watching that video and showing it to you.
I mean, if you were on your YouTube account, watch history is a thing.
Yeah, I know, but there's so much of my watch history. I'm not going back 3 years to try to find one video.
I feel like Thomas and Brian is the weirdest duo out of our friend group.
We have a very weird duo combination where we just do even more random shit than you'd expect.
Do you have an example?
Yeah, I'm actually curious about this.
Even
Well-
Thomas does.
Well, there was the one day where we watched Rush Hour 3 times in a row.
We
Just
did
because
that?
it was on. Yeah, we did that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Why did we do that?
Because there was nothing else on TV.
Was
and
it
we were,
literally consecutive?
yes, it was back to
In the
back to
same
back.
day?
Yes, it was all the same day. It was 6 o'clock at night, and I just turned it on the TV, and it was on. So I started watching it. Then you came in, and you were just kind of sitting there watching it too. And
I
then
imagine it's like
went on.
the torture dance where it's Thomas just walked in and looked and it's playing this music and he's just he starts sitting in a weird pose watching it.
Yeah.
What is the cutoff for afternoon to evening?
Afternoon to evening.
I
think
think
it's
around 5:30, 5:30.
I would say 5
Yeah.
o'clock.
Yeah, that's pretty much around there.
Yeah, I can see that.
For once, we're actually in agreement on something, and it's not me being well, technically, I think it's more evening is really like 4:35
And is there anything after evening?
nighttime. Like around 7:30, 8 o'clock. I think nighttime happens.
I don't know. I'd say I keep that in evening.
No, maybe 7:30, but I think 8 o'clock would be nighttime.
So
Is twilight a time of day?
yes, it's more like it goes like daytime, afternoon,
No, it's morning,
evening.
afternoon, evening, and then what?
Evening. I would go night, twilight, dusk.
Okay, I can see that.
I would just do morning, afternoon, evening, and nighttime.
Things happen in the nighttime, Thomas.
Yeah, but I don't care about them because I'm usually asleep.
Doesn't mean they don't exist.
Things go bump in the night.
And why do we sleep for 8 hours? That's such an inefficient thing.
Well, originally we only slept for 4 hours at a time. If we would sleep for 4, work for another like 3 or something, then sleep for another 4.
I can get behind that.
That's a short. That's basically a short rest.
Yeah.
Wait, would it be sleeping when the sun's out? I can't do that.
I can do that.
I don't know. Maybe. Let's see. If we think back to olden times when there was really mainly just farms, so you'd go to bed when the sun was down because
Mm-hmm.
you're not really doing
while
it.
the sunrise is out. That's the one.
So if you assume the sun goes down around, let's say the sun's down at like 8-ish.
Yes.
So you're in bed around 8:30.
And they didn't
So-
have clocks back then. This is crazy to think about.
Yep.
How
So
did they
that-
catch the bus? Sorry, continue.
They wouldn't even know what a bus is. So if they sleep for 4 hours, that's then like 12:30. They're up. They're doing shit with the moon as their light. Say they're up for another 4 hours. That's 4 a.m. They go back to bed. Oh, hey, look, another 4 hours. Oh, look, it's 8 a.m. Time to do some more work.
They
Harvest
didn't have
their
rough
crop.
back then. I've legitimately wondered for the longest time, and I honestly don't want to know the answer to this one, but I just want to think about it. What did they have before toilet paper? And like I'm pretty sure the answer is like exactly what you expect.
Leaves.
Leaves.
There was a Fairly Odd Parents episode about that. But like that's why people died of dysentery was because toilet paper didn't exist. And I'm so mad today. I am so mad today. I looked in the flyer, the same one from the grocery store that had the Totino's pizza rolls for $1. And I was like, dang, that's a good deal. And I saw another one for toilet paper that was like $2 off or something. And I was super excited to get it. I was saving big bucks. And I look at the toilet paper and I just grab it. And you can kind of tell just by the feel of a toilet paper what kind of toilet paper it is, like quality. It felt like one-ply toilet paper. And it was like I looked all over the case, could not find if it said 1 or 2 ply. And I was like, well, there's no way they'd be selling 1-ply toilet paper. I know it's on sale or whatever, but they had it in like the general store section. They were highlighting this is the toilet paper you need to buy. There's no way they put 1-ply toilet paper, and they put freaking 1-ply toilet paper there. I didn't see the sign for it until after I got home and bought it. So now I need to go back to the store, return the toilet paper, pick up 2-ply toilet paper and more Totino's pizza rolls, and then continue living with my life. I'm so upset.
Are you gonna do a food eating challenge with pizza rolls?
No, I'm done with food eating challenges for a while.
What about the half and half challenge?
That's going to be the double half and half challenge in the fall. But yes.
So
How are you
it's-
gonna watch Avatar?
That's actually a good question. Okay, Brian, I'm going to do it at your place. I'm going to tell you exactly how it's going to work, too. The double half and half challenge consists of, well, the half and half challenge is half a gallon of ice cream in half an hour. The double half and half challenge is 2 half gallons of ice cream in an hour, so a total of 1 gallon per hour. And then the
Oh my
double half and half challenge would, of course, be double that, so 2 gallons of ice cream in 2 hours. And of course, that's not physically possible for me to do, which is why I'm going to take the liberty of getting some help from some friends that I know who are also named Dan, to, with some crafty camera work, have all four of us eat the ice cream at the same time, but really we're just eating 2 gallons of ice cream throughout the course of a day, as long as I finish all of it within a 2-hour eating period. So that's the goal for that video, and that'll be in the fall. And Brian, lace up your shoes because we're going.
Is it still going to be cream? It's still going to be creamer ice cream.
Yeah, it would have to be because nowhere else sells half-gallon ice cream. Everyone sells 0.4 gallon for some reason.
Really?
Yep, the ones you get at the store, that's 2/5 of a gallon.
That's so
Used
weird.
to be half a gallon, now it's not. And it's really weird because, like, what do you say? I went to the store and got I guess you'd say a container of ice cream, but you can't say half gallon or else someone will jump down your throat. They'll jump out of the bushes.
Yeah.
Until you're
Someone in sunglasses will like stare at you for like 30 seconds and then like come over and start like yelling at you about
He had
how
sunglasses too?
he did have sunglasses, but I
That's
also had
intimidating.
sunglasses.
That's intimidating. Oh my god. I feel like if someone has sunglasses and you don't have sunglasses, automatically you have the lower hand.
I mean, I had sunglasses and I was wearing them at the time.
Oh, you did? Really? Okay, so you were in an equal playing field, if anything.
But like, I don't know if he was just like, I don't know what happened, but it was the first time. Like, you guys know I'm pretty like liberal in general.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's also the appropriate response.
Tyler, I kind of forgot you were like still like, but like, it was the first time in my life where I was like annoyed about people getting offended for other people. It was like the first time I actually felt like just mind your own fucking business and don't like.
Yeah, that guy was just rude.
Other people,
like, regardless of how rude you were or were not, because it was like intentional versus unintentional, there's no need to go to that level.
Because like I don't know if a guy I actually first of all the guy I actually cut off was like 4 car lengths back at like the edge of the property, like near the road. I thought he was parked. 2, like unless he was only coming out because that guy was yelling at me, like he was already coming out to address it, and he probably would have been like, yeah, you just cut in front of me, you mind moving? And I've been like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll move, sorry. Like, we're like 81 million different ways of handling it that would have been like made you less of an asshole.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I've got a quick question.
Yeah.
For you guys. A poll, if you will. Not an actual poll, because it's like a free response poll. But there is, let's just say I came into a bit of wealth, and by wealth I mean intellectual knowledge, not physical money. And by intellectual knowledge I mean resources. Yeah, it's resources. I came into resources, both human resource and... okay, here's the question. I now can make like really high quality shirts.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that the other day.
I now can make really high quality shirts. My manager is really into my YouTube thing and has made me a Breadkins shirt. Not the shirt yet, but he gave me the materials to make a Breadkins shirt because he's really into shirt design and like graphic design and all that stuff. And it's also classified, so I can't talk about it. But if I were to talk about it, I would say that I now can make any shirt design I want. I want to get some shirts that going based on my YouTube videos. So I got an idea for like a Dan Coin one. Another one for Do You Want to Bang? It just says that. And I want to ask like any other idea.
Do you have an official Girl Dan one? Actually, no, because that one. No, that one. I'm gonna say no to that one. Never mind.
Didn't Girl Dan get censored?
Yeah, that's kind of why I changed my mind on that.
Dan.
It's just a white T-shirt.
Yeah. You know, I'm thinking about it. I really want to pull the trigger on Black Dan, but the way I want to do it is really interesting. I
Is
want-
it a black shirt with white?
I
letters?
no.
No.
I want. This can't be racist because it's not me. I want to make a video with Keith from the Keith crew, and he would be
Oh
Black
my
Dan.
god!
That's the dream.
Have you ever do you see this happening or
The way I see it, he lives in North Carolina, and I have no idea if he'd be cool with it. But I figure, not yet. I figure once I start
gotta
gaining
become
at least
bigger.
a little bit of traction, that's when I would ask him.
I still don't know if I would do it, but you can do whatever you want.
I think if you get a big enough following, you could definitely pull that trigger. But it's got to be done in the right way.
Yeah, I'll say free shirt. If he does it, it's just gonna be a black t-shirt.
he seems like a cool guy.
Yeah, I got my picture with him, so that's half the battle. I think.
Yeah. You're like, hey,
I got my picture.
that,
with him.
yeah.
You owe me.
You took a picture with me once.
Smash, right? Except I don't do Smash videos.
We took a
Sure.
picture together. That means we're best friends. So obviously, you should be a part of my video.
Yeah. I mean, you look like Black Dan. I'm just saying. Is that right? Don't even need to answer that one. I already knew the answer. It's classified.
Oh, Dan, oh my god, the one video, the one clip in the cringe Smash thing is these guys are getting ready to play a set, and the commentator's like, hey, you think this guy looks like Prince Abu a bit? And the other guy's like, the guy's like, no, I just think you're racist.
I played Prince Abu, the Smash player, in a Milk Money match in Pittsburgh. And then he proceeded to go around the venue telling people how he just got challenged by someone to do a Milk Money match. That was a good day.
I told Kirsten about that today.
Really? Yeah, today's
yes.
the day of-
About the fact that you
What's
milk money matched someone at a major.
I made a lot of friends with that Milk Money match. That's the secret to making friends in life.
Just challenge them to a milk money match.
Just bring a gallon of milk with you wherever you go. That's the secret.
And challenge them to Smash, and if they win, they can have a sip from your gallon of milk.
Sweet, ice cold glass of tall milk. It's the wording too. You really got to sell it. I don't know. My ranking of milk is 2%, number one. Well, yeah, that's right. 2%. Then I'd probably go with whole milk. Then 1%. Skim would go below all the fake milks like almond milk and silk.
1% in skim milk is the same.
No.
I don't think it's. I think there's a fine line.
No, because we've made 1% milk at Starbucks by mixing 2% and non-fat.
But
No,
not,
what about 3% milk?
You kind of welcome to that one, Thomas.
Fuck off.
I'm sorry, 3% milk was just the funniest thing.
I was gonna
Explain it to
reference
people on the
it.
podcast.
No, because we're not recording. Oh wait, you are still recording.
I
we're
am still
still
recording.
recording. This is the post show.
Yeah, the post show is great. The post show will be the actual
It's
episode.
honestly just cut together the good bits.
The intro and put it on the post show.
The beginning, part where I was driving for the first
That's right.
podcast. And then cut out all of the dying, I guess.
Is that
Yeah.
what euthanizing is? Or am I just completely off right now?
What?
Euthanizing is technically that's basically you're just putting them to sleep.
Like that part of the podcast. Because it was dying.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're
We're
okay.
going to euthanize that half of the podcast.
Is that the correct usage of that term, though?
I guess. Not exactly.
Oh, the fire's back.
Yeah, fire alarm's going off.
He makes a lot of sounds based on other sounds she hears and situations.
So what you hear?
Yeah.
My dad walking into the kitchen, like opening the sliding door.
Ah,
So it's a motion sensor. That's interesting. Saves the money off like that Nest technology stuff.
yeah.
You know, I'm waiting for something from Amazon, and it was supposed to come Wednesday, and it still hasn't come yet. And it says delivered, but I'm still not convinced I received it.
Ah,
It's a tough call. And it's really important too, because it's my new pair of glasses.
you don't wear glasses.
That's the joke. One of the Dans, not gonna say who, is gonna start wearing glasses. Really excited.
Is it charismatic Dan?
It is not charismatic Dan.
Insecure Dan, I think you mean.
Tyler?
Oh,
What's
self-conscious Dan.
secret?
Oh, oops.
Spoilers.
And it's,
To who?
it's
I don't
really
You know, actually, I'm really excited about first season of my show. Very just like episodes, no like plot continuity.
there's a
Second
plot.
season, complete opposite. It's essentially like South Park levels of continuity, where it's like you
Yeah,
don't need it to necessarily.
I've actually been doing something kind of similar. I've been making a series of memes that are essentially a fanfic, but I've been like, it's this like,
Is it episodic?
yeah, it's like this like continuing like string of things, and people have actually like because I was doing that around the same time that I was posting these like this like long series of fan-made comics that I was translating, and those memes I was making were being better received than like these things that I spent hours translating. And there's a point where I was like, are you kidding me? I wrote like a stupid fan fiction and it's actually more popular than this like thing that I put like actual money into. I had to buy the comics as well as like a printer to scan them and stuff.
Tyler, also could have talked in the podcast. Well, actually, I guess I shouldn't have talked in the podcast about it, but the fact that my friend, when I was in Rhode Island, you and my friend had a long, involved conversation about Love Live vicariously through me.
What?
It's great. Thomas was relaying a message between me and one of his friends from high school.
Yes.
About Love Live, because I guess he mentioned that I liked it, and then they wanted to know like which characters I liked, and there was like a little bit of back and forth, but Thomas had to relay it all both ways, and I just was so happy that happened.
Okay, you know it's actually getting close to 2 hours, so this has been the Name Pending podcast.
I thought we were already decided. I mean,
No,
what
in
happened
the last podcast we revealed that the name is not definite yet, and we're still taking in suggestions.
I feel like you're getting to a point where the joke should just be that like we don't have a name for it, but
Name Pending the podcast.
it's just the podcast.
I could go by the podcast. I bet it's taken already, like 5 times.
Probably.
But yeah, if we just get the right spelling, we put an O instead of a 0. Wait, no, other way around. And then
0 is the amount of like people who are going to actually listen to this.
Now hold on, we got you, Thomas. Actually, no, you said you wouldn't watch it. We got Nick.
I might
Assuming Kirsten watches it.
I might watch it, but I'm not going to watch the recording that's on Skype.
We got Julia. I bet she listens to it.
I'm sure.
I
bet she doesn't.
And Tyler and my moms, who we're still figuring out if they are the same person or not.
No one will listen to it right now because as far as I'm aware, nothing's published.
Yeah, a lot of I'm not sure if I told Tyler last time, and I told Brian, and you already know about it, Thomas, the 5 or 6 rules.
Yeah.
You have 5 or 6 already.
Yeah.
Publish. So
what's
a
gonna
6-week lead time.
what is actually going to happen with this one?
I'm thinking YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud.
Okay,
Or
but
Spotify.
That's what. Yeah, Spotify.
what is actually going to happen with this particular one?
This one, I'll probably just look at the footage after the fact, see if we can salvage an episode at it. I think we honestly could, but we don't have to, So we'll see.
I feel like definitely the post show is better than the actual one.
Yeah. Well, with the first one, we had benefits that it was the first one, and also we were talking before a little while before it started, so we got going.
Yeah, maybe we want to do that next time.
Well, maybe I'll stop scheduling things with Kirsten.
No, I like it's always a talking point.
Because I was driving.
Anyway,
I was
I'm
driving.
gonna
home.
get going. I need to turn lights on in my house.
Okay.
All right.
It got dark while we were talking, and now I'm just basically sitting in pitch black.
Okay.
That's
All right.
depressing.
I'll see you. Yeah, I'll see you guys.
See ya.
All right, see ya.